Go. Hello, welcome to another stinking episode of DrawBomb.
You're goddamn right, it stinks.
Stinks like meat.
It rotten meat.
Do.
It stinks. That's a.
What is that?
That's the critic.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I haven't either, but I just recently found out that there's a way to watch all the episodes online for free. I was doing research for something, one of those articles I'm writing now,
right.
And I looked into the critic for. What was I looking into it for? I think I was just looking to see if I could make an article out of like Kevin Smith movies or something like that, but somehow that led me to the critic Wikipedia page, and they said you can find these episodes online at blank website, and I was like, oh shit.
Well, there you go.
Do.
What he had like a weird like catchphrase, but it was more like a noise he made. I can't remember what it is.
I don't know for sure. I just know the two like recurring lines in the show were him saying it stinks, and then also buy my book. Buy my book.
I do like me some John Lovitz action.
I do. Especially when I don't gotta look at him, just to hear him, you know?
I mean, the drawing kind of looks reminiscent.
It looks
of him.
exactly. I mean, he's basically playing a cartoonified version of himself.
Like a little bit shorter version of himself, but same idea.
Yeah, that show is really good, and it got canceled far too soon. It's a shame.
There's a lot of shows that were a little ahead of their time, I think.
Yeah, I think so. That was definitely one of them. I remember in that Buy My Book episode, he's got like a cardboard cutout. It says, buy my book. And then like his buddy, who, I forget what his buddy, he's got like a mustache, but like he points like the gun at, he shoots like the cardboard cutout, and then John Lovitz is like, what? Why'd you do that for? All he said was buy my book. Buy my book. And then like he points the gun at him, and he's like, okay, I'll stop.
I'll have to watch that show.
It's a good one. I don't remember. I also haven't watched it in a very long time. I caught episodes on TV, and I remember one dude on the Clock Crew forums had like, you know, like back in the old day of forums when you would have like signatures, which were like little things that appeared at the bottom of
I recall
most of your posts. But he had an animated GIF of a moment in that show where the guy is the guy with the mustache is talking, and then like a bird just like flies in his mouth, so he just ends up like eating the bird. It's so great.
Well, that's some humor I can get behind right there.
Absolutely. I'll see if I can find the GIF in the Discord Giphy library, and I'll post it onto our Discord channel, which if you enjoy the shenanigans on tonight's episode.
And how could you not?
How could you not join in on the fun? You prick. Nah, that is, I should
think you're better than us.
You think you know what's good for you? You don't.
We're just doing the classic bad cop. It works really well.
That's right. Hey there. Don't make me get my partner in here. He's a real asshole.
He's a real bad cop, if you ask me.
He's a real bad cop. You may be wondering where the good cop is, but guess what? He's on vacation. He shot a guy, so they gave him paid leave.
And that's a good cop.
That's the good cop right there. So, I mean, think about what kind of cop I am, buddy. Buy my book.
What do we got in the chat this evening? I see we got a few people watching.
Do we have
sound
people
off
watching?
if you feel comfortable doing so.
Oh my goodness, we do have people in the
Yeah.
like the eye button. Oh no, it's not an eye. It's like a person silhouette. A silhouette.
It's a man or a woman sitting there with no features that are identifiable.
Eyes without a face. Actually,
Yeah,
there's not even any eyes on there.
I'm gonna try to get that engagement going right off the bat.
That's right. We engage the viewers on this 2-hour extravaganza.
What are we gonna be doing during this great show?
Oh, we never know. We're really just
we like
always
to keep it exciting.
Playing it fast and loose with the entertainment and the use of the word entertainment.
The entertainment is loose, all right. You never know what's gonna happen, or if it's even considered entertainment, like you were just saying.
You know I like some moves.
Yes, you tell me all the time. I wish you would stop.
Yeah, especially when I'm in the presence of like your parents and stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah.
I'm like, hi, Mom and Dad. This is the guy that I talked to on the internet.
You know I like some moves. Okay, well, you're gonna stop talking to me, right?
We're gonna call the police.
We don't know what he means by loose, but we're pretty sure it's illegal.
We have ideas of what he might be talking about, and we don't like it.
He also keeps telling us to buy his book, and I just don't like being advertised to. Bye. Okay. Anyways.
So Ian, how have you been?
Just sitting in the house all the livelong day, watching the world crumble around me. How about you?
Same. I mean, occasionally I have to go to work, but the same idea.
Same vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well,
the world is also crumbling over here. It's not just exclusive to your zip code.
I was hoping I'd be able to like go a couple miles west and just be like, oh, done with that shit.
It'd be nice.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
I'm drawing all these little ripple effects, but I'm gonna do that with a different color.
Ooh, fancy.
So enough of that. We got Zach in the chat. Z Newts.
Had to log into Twitch to actually say hi.
That's dedication, and we appreciate it.
You logged in, everybody. You could do the same. You could learn a thing or two from Z Newts. I'm gonna draw these bubbles a lighter shade of bath water pink.
That seems to make sense to me in my experience with bubbles.
Yeah, usually they're like, you know, the thing is, like, bubble baths really aren't pink. I mean, unless you do like a bath bomb or something like that.
Right.
But whenever you see them drawn and like represented in cartoons or something like that, they're almost always.
What, should I draw them gray like in real life? That's not. No one wants to see that.
We should draw individual spherical rainbows on every individual bubble. That's how we really get 100% realism.
This show's going to be 10 hours and it will be less entertaining than usual.
We're just going to be drawing individual bubbles for the next 10 hours. We got Mr. Beast coming in here to draw bubbles with us. He does shit
He's
for
gonna
like
give us $10,000 probably.
That's right. For every bubble we pop.
Just as long as we credit him and tell people to subscribe.
That's absolutely right. Get that clout. Get yourself a Domino's pizza oven.
It was like on my trending recently. He just hit like
47 million or something like that.
40 million, or it was like the I don't know, the hurdle or whatever. And so he just, like, the person who was the 40 millionth subscriber, he just gave a ton of shit to, and like.
Yes, he does it a lot.
He's like, subscribe and maybe you'll get something. And I almost clicked it, and then I was like, no, I'm not going to be tricked with promises of gifts.
I subscribe to Mr. Beast just because I like when he does like big giveaways for charity and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not shitting on Mr. Beast. That felt like a dumb reason to click the button.
Yeah,
be like, maybe he'll give me a bunch of money.
I did see he did do one video like a while back where I forget what it was, but like basically he picked like random people who like commented or subscribed or did something arbitrary like that, and then he actually like sent his like gang of friends to their house to like give them $10,000 in cash, and like did that multiple times and like filmed that or whatever. But they also, I think when they showed up, they had to say a secret code phrase or something like that, and then so like or else they didn't get the money. But like he never likes to not give the people the money. So like in the video, his friends are like, so all you gotta say is, and like they're just like basically trying to like they're like, we won't give them the money if you don't say this thing. But then the friends were just like, no, but like here's the thing you're supposed to say, just say it, and then we'll give you this money. It was funny.
And also they like have to usually travel ways to do it, so it's like, well, they're gonna travel all this way, somebody's not gonna say it, they're just gonna leave.
All right,
Not get the footage.
Yeah.
They're all in it for the footage.
They're in that for that footy, bruh. Gotta catch that nar footy. Doing a McTwist over a helicopter in Orlando.
Have you played the Tony Hawk reboot?
No, but it's clear that you knew what I was referencing.
Of course.
But yeah, I really want to play that reboot. It looks really great, and it's been selling very well apparently.
Yeah, it got reviewed very well as far as like a reboot goes. Like, and I will play it eventually.
I shall too. I just need a cash influx before I start spending my money on things that are not
essential.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way of putting it. It's all going to my student loans at the moment.
So why does Tony Hawk not fit into that? I don't understand.
Because I don't have anything to play it with yet.
Well, you gotta buy that too.
Yeah, I mean I consider that fairly essential, but like that's gonna.
PlayStation 4 is very essential.
Oh, I wasn't.
No, I know. But you don't have it. You're getting a computer already.
I was talking about a computer brand.
I know, and you're getting one.
I would like to get a PlayStation 5 or whatever the fuck, or
Xbox. We'll see. I saw some inklings where they're like, oh, by the way, a few games will be $70, and I was just like,
yeah,
I give up on consoles. I won't be someone who helps enable them to start charging that much.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be just the consoles that.
I know, but like if people don't buy it, it also won't happen. But people will buy it, and then it will happen. Yeah. But I'm gonna fight it as long as I can.
You gotta fight the good fight.
That's too much money.
It's a lot of money. I mean, the thing is, like, game development is so expensive nowadays. Like,
right. And if I knew it was going to the actual people working on the games and not just the people in charge, I would be all for it. But I know how it's gonna go.
There's been like a lot of hoopla. People have been like with that new Harry Potter game because of J.K. Rowling's very terrible rhetoric and things like that. People have been saying like, oh, if you don't buy the new Harry Potter game because of J.K. Rowling, the developers are going to get shafted. And it's like, have you not paid attention to like game developers? Like over the years, they get shafted when the game does sell well.
Right.
Like, there's millions of horror stories of like developers like, this game was very successful. We gave our CEOs huge bonuses, and we canned the whole teams, and they gotta find a new place to live.
She's been doing her bullshit for more than a couple of years now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like if you got on board with that, you kind of knew the risks.
Yeah.
Talking about J.K. Rowling for a second, man, what a bad person.
Yeah, she's a real piece of shit.
She legit, like, she wrote a cultural phenomenon. All she had to use her Twitter for was to pop in once every, like, I don't know, 3 months and say something like, have a very magic Monday, and then that's all you had to do, and she could have ridden it until the day she died, but instead she just couldn't help herself, had to put some anti-trans stuff on there.
That's the thing I don't understand about, like, people who are successful and like decide to do that shit, like the guy who made TV shows like The IT Crowd and Black Books and things like that, he also took that weird turn into being just like a hateful piece of garbage about trans people as well. And it's just like, dude, like you made like several award-winning British comedies that like people love even in America. You're successful by every metric. What the fuck are you doing? Like,
I think people get too big for their britches. Like J.K. Rowling, for example, is like, I wrote fucking Harry Potter. Like that. Like,
Harry Potter, you piece of shit.
It's one of the best books ever written, up there with, The Great Gatsby. So I can say anything. And then people are like, nope, bye bye.
In the trash. it is weird that like it's such a weird axe to grind because it's just like what, like they didn't do anything to you. Like they're just trying to exist and be happy and like it's just it makes no sense. Like
I think
you're
that's true
like,
about all people who are
oh, it is
hateful,
100%.
hateful towards another group. It's not like it's not because a trans
There's
person or
never
a gay
any
person
reason.
killed their father. It's because they just hate them and they can't help
Yeah,
it.
and
I mean, not like that's an excuse, but it's like built into the way their brain
their
functions
psyche.
at this point.
Yeah. It's just like so strange. Like if I had $1 billion, like first of all I couldn't even imagine, but like second of all, like I don't know, I just couldn't imagine like being like, gosh, now that I have all of this crazy amounts of money, you know what I'm gonna start doing is being a hateful piece of shit. And it's just like, why? What is there for you to be mad at? You were comfortable for the rest of your life. Like, what the fuck?
Chat, I agree. Our chat is being spammed right now by some bots. Not sure how to block them.
I don't know how to block bots either.
There's a way to do it. Hold on, I'll do it. Let's see if I can figure it out real quick.
I think I can gift them a sub. Oh, there we go. I can block them.
Oh, you can? Okay, cool. There's a few of them.
I think I block them for me personally because I am logged in as me.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I think I can do it.
If you want, I can color these bubbles. You can block them from the.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that real quick.
Alright. Get these spam bots out of the way.
Get them out of here.
Get them out of here. But people have been talking about like, you know, because like all this stuff with J.K. Rowling's come up recently. People have been. It feels like people like I get it because you don't want to like take something that people are really enjoying and then shit on it, but then like because you know I think that it's valid to not do that, to like, you know, let people enjoy the things they enjoy. But like now that she's being just a real jerk, people are saying like, oh, by the way, like Harry Potter's like the writing in it sucks. So I actually am curious, like since my parents have like a couple copies of the book, I thought I'd like page through a couple of the first one at least and see, like, because I remember as a kid loving those books, but maybe
I mean, it's a young adult book, so it's a little different too, you know.
Yeah.
Like, not that should be given more. I don't know. It's just like, you know, it's written a little bit more like simple.
Yeah, she's not going to use like very purple poetry.
I like the stories.
Sort of stuff. I mean, they're fun stories.
But I don't think they're like. That's what I was making a joke about her being like, I wrote a literary masterpiece. Like I don't.
Okay.
I don't think it's up there, but I think it's
a
fun young adult story.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I mean the thing is, like, I'm sure there are well written young adult books. Like I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like how there's kids shows that are like definitely like watchable for both adults and the kids who the show is aimed for. You know, there's certain books that are like that. I mean, I'll have to see because I can't speak from experience, but I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, I read Harry Potter and I'm just like, okay, this is getting a little heavy with the run-on sentences here, JK. Did you want to hit that 300-page mark by chapter 5? Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
That was like the thing I remember like kids really caring about when I was like because I remember reading like those books in 5th grade. I think that's like the advent of Harry Potter. The 3rd one hadn't like come out, something like that. And so I was like a kid, and I was just like, check it out, dude. I read a book that's like 500 fucking pages long. I'm a hardcore reader, bruh. I'm so smart. And I just, you know, that was like, I feel like one of the most compelling things as a kid for me was just like, these books are long, dude.
Yeah.
It's just strange.
Look at me read this shit.
Dude,
I read a big book. I read a novel. I wrote a tome.
A tome, yeah, dude. Like, what's that, Dune? Fuck nah, dude. I read Harry Potter. This shit is long and boring as fuck. About to escape into a magical wonderland of magic over here. Bruh. So I figured I'd crack open those books sometime soon and be like, what do you think, what's the writing actually like in these books? Like, what's the content like? I mean, we all know the story, like, you get whisked away to a magical world, blah, 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 blah. I think that's the main reason people really enjoyed it, is because everyone was just like, I hate my fucking life. I wish Hagrid would come to my house and be like, oh,
exactly. That's most of those fantastical stories.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're like, oh, things couldn't be worse, but then it turns out your life is the best life in the world.
Yeah, it's also like, I mean, you know, speaking of his life ending up being the best life, I mean, obviously he goes through like turmoil and shit.
Yeah,
like
I guess
that,
it's not that great, but you know.
But he does, like, okay, so like people have brought this up before, and I had never thought about this as a kid because obviously like socioeconomic theory and stuff like that was not something I was super aware of as a child. But like in the books, he does inherit a massive fortune, and he gets like the most expensive, bestest broom when he gets a broom.
But that's because like people like gift it to him and shit like that.
Well, he gets the broom gifted, but also like he does inherit like a massive fortune in that first book.
Yeah.
Like his parents were like secretly like.
I don't think he gets in the first book because he still has to live with his like shitty aunt and uncle for a while.
Well, he lives with his aunt and uncle, I think, till like it becomes dangerous because he's like actively targeted. But like I think I think it's one of the conditions of his fortune is that he
wait
has
till a certain age or something.
Something like that. Like but he also has to he's always going like, come on, like Sirius Black, can't I just live with you? And Sirius Black is just like, yeah, and then he dies. But then like, you know, for the most part, I do remember like the condition of one of his wealth being like, you gotta live with those assholes, the Dursleys, and he's just like, okay, cool, I'll just terrify them because I have magic powers and can like snap their spine in half with like a thought. And then, you know, that's what happens with that family, is they're just like, oi Harry, remember when you made Dudley almost die? Could you not do that? Here's a lovely crumpet and tea.
Yeah, that's basically what happens. Yeah, but you know, his life sucks, and the people he's living with are terrible, and then he eventually gets out of there.
Gets whisked away.
But then he kind of gets the whole like Jesus situation of his life, where they're just like, by the way, you're super important. You got to deal with all this bullshit, and he's like, what?
Well, I'm like what literally not Jesus. Even an adult yet. Hell, I'm an adult, and I feel like I can't deal with that shit.
Yeah, like, oh, you're gonna have to like fight Satan himself.
Yeah.
Hope that's cool with you.
I think that's like their superpower against like Voldemort and all those people though, is that they're like young teenagers and they don't have to like take a nap to make it through the whole day. Cause like I took a nice nap today because I was just tired of living and stuff like that. But like it's like if you're an adult and you're going up against a kid, like you're gonna have an advantage because you're got all that spry. Like I remember being in high school, my mom would be like, okay, I'm gonna go lie down for a nap, and I'd be like, fuck naps, dude. Like I want to live the whole day, and like I had no issue with that.
No, waste all that time. Yeah, but now it's like a reprieve from existing.
Exactly. It's like, oh man, I totally understand naps now.
Voldemort is like, he is like evil Superman. He's like invincible and shoot like lasers and shit. Fly around, turn into a snake. He's got Harry Potter doesn't really have those abilities.
No.
At least not initially. I don't know if he can turn into a snake later on.
He does die.
Yes, he does.
And comes back again. The whole Jesus allegory ends up like that's like a favorite amongst people who are just like, this story's deep, bruh. It's like what if he was like Jesus?
This is a retelling of the story of Jesus.
But like if Jesus also had Jesus did have shit.
If Jesus loved butterbeer.
Yeah. If Jesus went to a school where the only Asian character was named Cho Chang, and somebody was like, hey, JK, did you, like on Twitter, they're like, hey JK, did you ever have any Jewish characters in Harry Potter? And she was like, yeah, their name was like Alan Goldstein. And people were just like, did you just name the only Jewish character in like your Harry Potter universe Goldstein? Like what the fuck?
I mean,
like
it's J.K. Rowling, so
it's J.K. Rowling. We all know where she is on that shit nowadays. It's just like even like after everyone was just like, hey, can you not be such like a piece of shit? They're like, but also can you like just here's your chance to sort of like say something non-controversial and not shitty, and then she was just like, nope, I am committed to the bit of being a shitty person.
Yeah, she's dedicated. won't reel it back.
All right.
Her fans liked her enough that they gave her like 2 or 3 like chances to just reel it back in, even though she didn't deserve those. And
Yeah.
she sticks to her guns.
Yep.
Zach says, "Oh shit, I just got it. A bath bomb." And yep, that was what we thought of. We thought of that.
That was the joke.
You didn't just be more clever than us. We had thought of that already.
Also, he pretended to be one of those spam bots for like a moment.
Oh, well, he's lucky he didn't get the band hammer by accident.
And he says, "I stopped
swinging
reading
it
the
wildly."
books." What was that? Swinging the band hammer?
Yeah, I was swinging it. My eyes closed.
Swinging little Mjolnir. That should be a rapper's name, Lil Mjolnir. One of my friends who was a rapper called Mjolnir Mir, which I always thought was hilarious. But he also says, "Stop reading the books a quarter of the way through Order of the Phoenix." I also remember stopping at Order of the Phoenix. I remember like starting some of that book and then just being like, "Shit, you know what? This is kind of a slog," and then like just giving up.
So like, I do enjoy reading, but I will say I got through the first book and then they announced the first movie and I was just like, whip the book, like, done. I'm watching the movies now.
I just imagine like the book hits the wall and explodes,
Yeah.
and like the book shatters.
Yeah, it's shattered like glass. And I was just like, oh well, I'm just gonna watch these, and then I only read the first one.
That's probably the best place to stop.
I mean, I'll say I think J.K. Rowling sucks, but I don't think the books are terrible or the story is terrible.
Yeah.
At least I enjoyed them. I could watch them now and I wouldn't even hate it. I don't think.
It's a delightful romp. I mean, there's a reason that they caught on is because they are like fun shit stories about like, you know, fun shit. They're stories about like, you know, kids going on adventures, solving crimes, mysteries, and having magical powers.
Mm-hmm.
What's not to love? There's like a guy whose name is a palindrome, or not it's a anagram. Like that shit's fun.
His name's Andy Graham.
Andy Graham. There's a guy who turns into a werewolf. His name is Lupin. I mean, what the fuck? Like that shit's enjoyable. But like I had a buddy in high school, and like you wouldn't think it because he was just a very wild personality, but fucking loved Harry Potter. Like when we went to see the final. Like I didn't see any of the movies between the third one. No, I didn't see. I didn't see any of the movies between the second one and then the last one. But like my friends were like picking me up from work at the rafting center, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna go see Harry Potter. Do you want to come with?" And I was like, "I'm gonna see a movie. Why the fuck not?" So like we went, and like that friend was in the car with us, and like he had on like a fake pair of Harry Potter glasses. He had like a wand, and he was just like pointing it like out the window at like different things, like saying different like spell names, like just having a blast with it.
Likes
and,
that
like,
shit.
At this point, we're 18, so like he's just like fully embracing having fun. I respect the shit out of that.
Oh,
that
for sure.
mindset.
You like what you like.
And you know what? That guy, like, he would also like, and the things he liked were just like, for the, you know, just the person he was. You just didn't sort of expect him to like those things, I guess, because like he also had read all of like the extended literature of like the Elder Scrolls at the time and things like that. Like he and like he wasn't. I think he liked Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, but it was just like he was not the prototypical like person who liked these things that you would normally imagine.
I like to nerd out.
Yeah, I like to nerd out with my curds out. Ooh, I don't like that.
Is that like
I don't know.
You eat cottage cheese? Well,
I hate cottage cheese.
I don't doubt it. You don't like. You're a texture person, so there's no way.
I'm
you
a
like
very
cottage
big
cheese.
texture person. We've discussed this. Yeah.
It's a very real thing. There's a lot of people that texture plagues them.
It does, man. Like I have a hard time with tomatoes and shit because
It's so bad. It's so sad because they're delicious.
they are though, and that's the thing is like there's plenty of things that are tomatoey that I enjoy, but like as soon as I get like I've improved. Like it's something I've actively worked to get better at. Like
Yeah.
if it's got like if it's like a big ass tomato, I probably won't be like super psyched to go for it. But like I've had caprese salads that I've enjoyed. When I was working in the restaurant, like we had an heirloom tomato with mozzarella, basically another version of a caprese salad.
Yeah. Kind of like
that I enjoyed. Like if it's in chili and it's like nice smaller chunks, like I'm okay with that. But I forget who it was, but I remember somebody was like drinking a V8 in front of me, and they got like, and like they like finished drinking, and then they're just like whoop, and then they just have like a big skin of a tomato like hanging out their mouth because like there was just a big ass tomato thing.
Some pulp.
Skin or something. Yeah, I guess so. And I was just like, that's what I've never
I love
drank
tomatoes.
V8
I could
since
eat
then.
them. I could eat them raw.
I'm jealous. Same with onions. You
Textures.
like onions a lot too,
I love
right?
onions. Texture is one of those weird things that's like it's hard to comprehend if it's not something that bothers you. It's like any of those like brain things. It's just like it's I don't know.
So
it's
like
hard to understand.
Say you're eating a thing.
Okay.
Like are there any
that.
foods? Yeah, it's, it's hard. I know we're starting off like pedal to the metal here with the imagination. But like is there any sort of food where the texture is not something that you enjoy? Like just
The answer's gotta be yes. I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. I'm not sure, but the answer, there's gotta be some.
I have to imagine like pudding. Do you like?
I like
I'll
pudding.
just go through.
I don't really eat pudding very often, but I like it. Sure.
Yeah, I'm not much of a pudding. So like yogurt, maybe that's more of a.
I like yogurt. Well, I like yogurt more than pudding. I do eat yogurt occasionally.
So like, and you like, for me, I don't mind yogurt. I don't mind pudding either. But like, okay, so like just imagine there's like a spoonful of it. Like, I gotta like do like the first third, and like the rest is just gonna stay on. Like, or I won't even like get the rest of the spoonful. Like, I won't do a spoonful of pudding or yogurt. I'll do like a third. It's like a tiny dollop, and like do that.
Do you like whipped cream?
Nah, not really.
Okay. I was gonna say. Cream. I thought you'd say yes, and I thought I was gonna say it was similar. That was the argument I was gonna make. But if you don't like it, then that makes sense.
Like when I see people doing that's whipped cream with like it comes out the can, right? For some reason I'm blanking.
Yeah, I mean some does. It doesn't have to come in a can, but there is kinds like that.
Yeah, so like. Yeah, that's why they call it like whippets and stuff like that. But yeah, like I couldn't do like just in my mouth, like nah.
No, I mean I guess I wouldn't really do that either, but.
No, but I mean people can.
Yes.
And I see that, and they're just like, you brave soul, I would fucking gag.
I think. Okay, so your brother's making a point that I'll agree with. He says soggy bread at the bottom of a wrapped hoagie. Okay, so I agree texture can gross me out if it's not the texture that it should be. Like, if I'm eating bread and it's like the texture of pudding, then I am also not happy about it. Because bread has a texture that it should be. I'm not happy about it because I'm like, something's wrong with this. This is not...
That's fair. And I think that's like that sort of instinct that kicks in where you're just like, this shouldn't be this texture. Like with soggy bread, which god damn I hate soggy. Bleh. But that like my mind gets like that thought, but like when I'm like eating a sandwich and like something squishes when I'm eating like a sandwich that
it just feels unnatural to you.
Yeah, so like it's yeah, like the feeling that you get with soggy bread is probably like very similar to the feeling I get like with...
It's like an unexpected sensation that you don't want.
Yeah, even though like I totally expect it every time I'm eating a tomato, it's just something. I don't know. It's weird. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, you like what you like.
I like what I like, and I like to ride my bike. I was just trying to do what do they say in Green Eggs and Ham aside from I will not eat that, Sam I am, I will not eat green. Like, don't they do any other?
Then they list a bunch of shit like I will not eat them in a house. I will not eat them with a mouse. I will not eat them in a box. I will not eat them with a fox. Man, Dr. Seuss. I mean, I will give him credit on the... I don't think his stories are like bad, but I will give him credit on the illustrations. But the stories, I feel like... That was like... Any time in like middle school that I was given the task of writing a poem, that's how it came out.
Imagine like you're Dr. Seuss. And you just become like this world-renowned writer and like author. For just like shit that you're just like, dude, I was like drunk.
Yeah, it's like I wrote a book where one of the titular characters was called a Wocket, just so that I could rhyme it with pocket.
I made a thing about hopping on Pop. Like that, not only is nonsensical, that would kill him.
Pop would die. Zach says fish taste is a no. Does not like fish. I love fish.
I love seafood. That's the so like, as a kid, like growing up, I had a hard time. We talked about this a little earlier, not on stream, I think, or when we were doing Fall Guys or something like that. Like as a kid growing up, like I had a harder time eating a lot of foods because I was still like I hadn't figured out like why like it was specifically the texture thing that was fucking with me. So I was just like, ugh, any food that I don't like the look of, I'm gonna have
grossed you out, yeah.
Yeah, but like nowadays, like when I moved out and like had to live on my own and survive off of like what I was able to eat and stuff like that, I sort of like made the conscious decision like, okay, well, if I don't learn how to eat foods, I'm gonna die. So I really got a handle on this.
You can still avoid foods you don't like to some degree, but if it comes down to it's your only source of food, then yeah, you probably have to eat it.
Yeah, so like I've learned since I grew up and moved like out of high school and stuff like that. Like, okay, so I do like most foods. Like I love seafood. I love crab. I love fish. I love sushi. I love you name it. Like shrimp, prawn, blah. I'll eat it. Chew it, delicious. Put it in your mouth, chew it, delicious. That's a quote. Something like a YouTube video. But yeah, like, I don't know. Tomatoes, no, but fishy tastes, like, all the things Zach are saying down there. He can eat clams, scallops, lobster, crab, and such. Fishy fish like haddock, salmon.
I'm surprised. I feel like, well, I guess you didn't list oysters. I was going to say, oysters are, like, super fishy, and... Good. You like those? I feel like that's the ultimate bad texture. Of all the textures. It's like the boss battle when it comes to textures. Right?
I don't understand it either. Well, maybe I've only had like oysters are the big ass dudes. Like you're getting raw bars, right?
Right, but have you had them baked or do you like slurp them out of the shell?
I mean, when I was working in the restaurant, we did set up so much raw bar. Like, and they'd be like, hey, we got like leftover food. Do you want to eat some of this oysters? I'd be like, fuck yeah.
Okay,
like, it wasn't my favorite thing, but
I'm just saying that they have like the consistency of like a snot, like inside of like a rock. Like, that's what they are, basically. I agree, I think they're good. Yeah. I'm just saying, as far as if your issue is texture, they seem like the ultimate evil.
I'm not sure. I think because you don't have to chew them.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, you can literally slurp them and, like, just, like, get it, like, past. Like, if I were to take an oyster, put it in my mouth and, like, swish it around, I would probably gag and throw up, maybe. But, like, since I can just go, like... And then like you don't even have to process it. Like it's in your tummy all of a sudden. Like I think that.
And on top of that, I feel like the issue is here that I'm trying to find rhyme or reason for a neuroses, which doesn't work that way.
I think that's fair. Yeah,
it just is what it is.
It's like trying to come up with like a logical reason for a phobia. It's just like
It's like no, just got a weird brain. That's all.
Yep, I got weird brain. Can't help it.
Can't help it.
Can't help myself. I just can't help myself. That's a White Stripes song.
Your brother has a vendetta against trout. I'm not sure if I've eaten trout.
I feel like I've eaten trout. I gotta look up what a trout looks like. And I'm sure it looks like every other fish.
I was gonna say, I feel like even if you knew what it looks like, you're not gonna know what if you're eating it, because fish, when it's like cleaned, all looks the same mostly. Different colors, different colors, but like essentially, their meat looks the same.
I mean, some of these trouts I'm looking at look delicious. Some of these are just like a whole ass fish. What was that?
You'd eat those trouts?
I think I'd eat most of these trouts on this picture.
I would at least attempt to eat a trout.
Yeah, for sure. I love salmon. I do love salmon.
Yeah, salmon's good. A lot of people don't like a lot of people don't like salmon. They think it's too fishy, but I think it's good. I like it.
See, here's the thing though, like when he describes them as fishy, that's I think going different direction than texture. Like that's more
it's a flavor.
A flavor.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm just
the flavor is not the issue for
answering
that's
too.
Yeah. But yeah, like trout. I don't think I do actually really enjoy the seafood I don't know, quality of
Yeah.
things. Like I think
It's the only
there's
bug I'm willing to eat.
yeah, exactly.
Shellfish.
Actually, I'd eat bugs. I think if they're cooked, you know.
I don't think
like,
I would. I'm pretty open to trying things, but I think that's where man, I can't imagine you'd eat bugs. Texture, like they can't even clean them. You're getting the whole bug. It's not like they can remove the wings and the exoskeleton.
Yeah, but they're crunchy all the way through
eyeballs.
if you cook them. Like the thing is, like a tomato's like got an outside like skin that you gotta like bite through. You gotta breach the perimeter.
Bugs also have an outside skin.
Yeah, but like if you
their
cook
bones.
the bug, that dude's crunchy all the way through. Then like whenever you see,
I would assume so. I don't know. I've never had many.
Whenever
bugs.
you see like those travel shows engaging in a good old fashioned bit of entomophagy, you know they're just like. It's like a big crunch noise. Like that sounds like honestly ideal. Like I could do that.
All right. Yeah, I'm not sure I could.
If it was a spider, no.
I've eaten escargot and I like it a lot, but
I love escargot.
The first time I tried it, I had to like overcome my brain for a second, gross me out for a second, just because I thought about what I was eating.
Also, strangely enough, when you took us to that awesome bar, we had the escargot. Fucking loved that escargot. No issues with the texture.
Nice.
There really is no rhyme or reason for any of it.
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense.
It's kind of random, but you know, you like what you
no
like.
Sense.
And you don't like what you don't like.
Goddamn right. And you know what? That's okay.
I guess so.
I mean, I would like to be able to eat tomatoes. I mean, at the end of the day, and that would be nice.
You know, it's fine. I just like to pick on you.
I know. You know, speaking of which, we were talking about like how travel food shows would be like the ideal job,
Yeah.
and like we were talking before about how like you know we'd love to watch a travel show where like they're like kind of like well it'd be a sketch obviously, but like where they're jerks and they like try out the food and then they're just like Peh. But I actually did find in my research for the one article I'm writing a travel show where they do frequently spit out the food that they're trying.
God. How rude.
It's called Travel Man. It's on Hulu. Speaking of the IT crowd, the one character or the guy Richard Iota, he plays Moss on the IT crowd, and he plays a bunch of other various roles in British comedies mostly. But it's like a travel show where he's the host, and it's very like glib and tongue in cheek because like it's honestly pretty much what we were describing. He like goes to places and he like makes fun of the travel show formula.
Fool Abroad or whatever that show is with.
Idiot Abroad, yeah. It's almost like that, but like this time he's actually a willing participant in the show. But like in like the first episode of Travel Man, like for instance, they go to Barcelona and they go to like this place where like you can get your photo taken at a green screen with like a famous soccer player, and you're supposed to put your arm around it. So like the guest he's with, she's like super excited about football or soccer, you know, whatever you want to call it. So she like gets the photo taken. They go to like a stadium, and she's like pretty hyped about it. And then he's just like, no, not for me. And then like they're like at the photo thing, and she's like, come on, don't you want to get your photo taken? And he's like, no, I'd rather not. I'd rather no, thank you very much. And then so like he gets a photo taken of himself, and like instead of putting his arm around the soccer player, he's just like reading a book and not paying attention to like the green screen dude.
Wow.
But it's a very enjoyable show. Like actually, I really enjoy it. I mean, it's interesting seeing a travel show that seems so intent on mocking the format of a travel show because like in the one episode they go to Hong Kong with John Hamm, and he's like they do like this whole segment. They have like snake soup that they also spit out, and then they have like stinky tofu which they spit out, and like they're like sorry, I like they're to the travel lady who's like showing them around. They're like sorry, just not for me. But when they're about to like cut to commercial break or something like that, he's like, hey, do you not enjoy decontextualized clips because it cheapens the experience, blah blah, like just basically making fun of the fact that they're about to show you like a bunch of clips of like what's to come in the episode without any like he just basically makes fun of the format of travel shows the entire time. It's actually kind of enjoyable to watch that happen.
So it's kind of like it knows what it's trying to do a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like the like he goes to like these places and he does enjoy like a decent amount of them, but it is also like very tongue in cheek, like being like, look at this. We're a travel show. Like blah blah blah. Fuck this. Sort of thing. It's. I'm the way I'm describing it sounds a lot more mean spirited than it actually is. But
Right. But I get what you're saying.
Good fun. Yeah.
Nice. Interesting.
It's more of a travel show about like that you're just gonna watch to be entertained than you're gonna watch to like learn about a place. But you do learn a couple things about the place.
Kind of like satire, but also still doing the thing.
Yeah, like when I was watching it, I actually like it's still like a legitimate travel show. It's just like they're not worried about presenting everything as like, oh, this amazing thing. I was absolutely
Right. They're not being paid by the places they visit.
exactly. So like when I first found out about the show, I actually thought it was like the way like the preview clip I saw, I thought like he was playing a character going on like doing like a mocking travel show, which I would totally watch, like a person playing a character doing like a travel show, but like the whole time they're doing like this bit. That'd be a lot of fun, and I thought that's what it was when I was getting into it. But no, it's just like the genuine guy just being himself, and it's very enjoyable to watch because Richard Iota is just a very funny, charming fella.
Well, I might have to check that out then.
Yeah,
That's what I might have to do.
Got a YouTube subscription, and you wanna fuck out of the house without leaving the house. Bada bang.
This is what I want to do this like lately.
That's the point of the article I am writing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Now we'll get paid $15 plus a bonus if it gets a lot of clicks. Sometimes the eyedropper thing on Open Canvas just does not work.
Well, what's that about?
Maybe I'm not clicking hard enough. I don't know.
You gotta click like you mean it.
Gotta click like a rock star.
How do rock stars click?
They go yeah every time they click.
Oh, okay. That sounds about right.
All right, let me try this. I gotta eyedrop again. Yeah. Okay, that ended up working out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I figured it out. It's a weird hotkey that they have set up there.
Yeah, it's voice activated like a
scream
Nintendo
like a
DS.
hairband.
Yeah. Like I'm the Who about to sing Won't Get Fooled Again.
You have to do a power slide.
I'm not sure I could.
You need a very slick surface.
Yeah. I need also the effectiveness of a power slide helps like depending on what kind of pants you're wearing.
True.
Like
I could see that.
Can't really do it in jeans, I think.
Not well.
No.
There's too much grip.
That's right. Too much fabric to honestly like. It's not even the grip to the floor I'm worried about, which I do want to worry about because like if your knees aren't slick enough, you'll like just face plant.
Right.
But also I just don't want to like. It's also what's inside the jeans that's important to me.
Yeah. You don't want to judge a book by its cover. Or something like that.
Yeah, well, it's also... I don't want to fuck my junk up.
Yeah, well, no.
That's our new DrawBomb t-shirt, everybody. Fuck my junk up. Get it in stores.
It's a reality TV show.
That should be a reality TV show.
I would not watch.
What would happen?
I don't...
You wouldn't watch Fuck My Junk Up?
Sounds like it would be painful to watch.
So, like, what I'm imagining out of the show Fuck My Junk Up is, like, somebody is brought to, like, an Amazon warehouse, and they have a sledgehammer, and they have about... It's like that grocery game where, like, they have, like, a minute and a half to, like, grab as much grocery shit as they can from the store. Right. What's that one? What is that called? Like, there was a name for it. I don't remember. Anyways, we should bring that show back. But, anyways, in Fuck My Junk Up, person's got like 2 minutes to take a sledgehammer to as many Amazon warehouse packages as they can, and then they just ship that stuff out to the people who ordered them, and you bring a TV crew, and you're just like, here's your TV, you're on Fuck My Junk Up, and then the person's just like, okay, but like really though, like, do I get my TV, because this is fucked up? And then they probably get an actual TV. It seems like a big waste of plastic.
Seems like a lot of rigmarole to go through.
Yeah.
And that already kind of happens when stuff gets delivered.
That's true. You are not wrong.
Maybe Fuck My Junk Up is a show about, it's like a hoarder show, and they bring like a professional wrestler in to help them get rid of all their
That's
newspapers
hilarious.
and stuff.
That I love. The fact that it's like I just imagine Stone Cold Steve Austin showing up and be like, "Hey, I heard you got a problem," and then he just like power bombs a fucking like stack of newspapers from the year 1960.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
I'm gonna eye drop real quick. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Oh boy.
That's gonna be the running bit for the episode, everybody. Just to give you all a heads up.
Got all those running bits.
We gotta have a good running bit. They call me running bitch.
You seem proud of that.
I'm not. I knew it was dumb before I said it. I said it.
Well, I'm just saying, even in the joke, the character seemed like he was like telling you like you should be jealous of this fact about him.
That's my call sign. That was my army name.
Before I was
Echo Bravo, this is a go on running bitch.
Discharged.
Dishonorable discharge.
For going AWOL.
Yeah. Literally ran. I gotta say, I'm enjoying this illustration we're wrapping up here.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. Wait, there's a giant white dot.
Yeah, I think that
down
was
there. I
you.
feel like it usually is, because the thing is, like, because I'm on the tablet, like, I use my fingers, but like half the time this program realizes I'm using my fingers, and the other half it just like it's a dot there. I'm trying to find out which layer it's on. Maybe it's a. It looks like I didn't write over any lines, so I should be able to just delete set. There we go. Okay, I found it. That shit out of here. We did finish watching Solar Opposites recently. If you wanna,
What'd you think?
Talk shop on that show. I enjoyed it. It was very good.
Yeah, I in the beginning I was kind of like, I'm not sure if I like this or not, but by the end I was like, I will watch another season of that.
Yeah, same here. I pretty much enjoyed it right out the gate. But you know, I like to give shows a solid 7 episodes or so before I write it off. But
Yeah.
I felt like it was solid. It's definitely, like, even though it looks exactly like Rick and Morty, and you know, what's his name? Justin Roiland voices one of the main characters. It feels like a completely different show, which is cool. And it's doing some interesting things in it, which I appreciate. Like the whole like subplot they have going on with like the wall of shrunken people.
Yeah, I liked that a lot. I think that was most people's like favorite part, and I liked it too.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because the way like things pan out in that plot, especially in the second last episode.
I do like how the big. I think second last is the big one in the wall.
Yeah,
I do like how while that's all taking place, you can see out the window what they're doing in the background, and then the next episode is actually that's the stuff it's the same stuff going on.
Actually, it's not.
Or it's the other way around or something. Or was I wrong?
No. No, because in the name of that episode where it's like takes place
it's
entirely
like a bear or
inside the wall.
something, right?
Yeah, and like the actual episode title is Zach's the one who actually pointed this out. I'll look.
Maybe I'm getting mixed up. It's been a while since I watched it.
But the episode that's going on outside involves a bear. What's it called? It's called Terry and Corvo Steal a Bear.
Oh, okay.
So the name of the episode is about what's happening outside the wall, but none of it actually.
But you don't actually see any of it except for that you see them with a bear in the background at one point. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's way funnier, anyways. But
it's pretty good.
Forgot.
And did you see? I mean, without going into too heavy spoiler territory, but I don't think it matters because you can binge it right now, everybody, if you got the Hulus. But what did you think about that? The way that subplot sort of wrapped itself up for the season.
I liked it. I thought it was kind of a nice twist. I don't think I saw it coming completely. Maybe a little bit, but not completely.
I didn't see it coming either. I saw it coming as soon as he saw the dude escape, and like he had that like there's always like a look on the character's face right before they do some shitty shit.
Yeah.
And I knew that was happening.
But I won't give myself the credit of saying I saw it coming further in advance than a few seconds before the reveal.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
But no, I liked the B story.
Yeah, it was good. It was cool too because I think it's a smart aspect to bring into the show because otherwise you are watching a show about aliens and they can be not 100% relatable all the time because
Right.
it's as they say in the show, it's a bunch of sci-fi bullshit. But having like a subplot where it is like mostly human focused does I think sort of help bring the show back around into very relatable territory, even though it's set in this crazy inside the wall sort of universe.
Right. And I like Thomas Middleditch, so that's cool that he's part of the show.
Yeah, he's Terry, right?
Yeah. He's
the green one.
It's like the not the main character, but the other one. I mean, they're all kind of the main characters. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I forget their names.
And you know what? Yeah, I only remember their names because I just read Terry and Corvo, so I'm just like, well, it's one or the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? I hadn't even put it together that he was Terry, but that makes perfect sense. I can totally hear that in his voice.
You ready to finish this one up?
I'm just doing some stupid fancy bullshit.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
And I think I am officially ready.
Okay.
Should I put the episode title, or should I put I usually put the episode number? Should I do that?
It's up to you. I don't know. I don't necessarily feel one way or the other about including that part.
We're on episode 42 right now, right?
Maybe you can keep it like nice and clean, like a little like.
What were you gonna do?
I was gonna say like something like small, just because I really like the illustration.
But
kind of
I like what you're doing with. Well, I like what you're doing with the word episode there. Like, kind of here, let me. I like what you're proposing here. Get a little bit of typographical choices going on here. And then let's just surround that. I was gonna say we could write the whole, because like it's like a underline for the.
Knock yourself out, man.
Oh boy, I'm just having a blast.
All right, I'm saving this sucker.
Oh wait, I was gonna do one last thing. Sorry.
No, go for it.
I'm gonna be. Wait, what layer did you draw that E on? Did I draw that E?
You drew the E. Oh, the first E. I drew the first E. I am on layer. I don't know.
It don't matter none.
Zach also says he hates broccoli. I like broccoli. I
Crazy.
like all foods.
Like
I think I'm just like a garbage disposal. I don't know. I feel like it's at a certain point, if you like everything, it's a bad sign. It's just like, oh, so you have no self-respect.
Oh, I disagree. I think that means that you're like the ultimate food critic. Like you're just like you have an open mind for everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna start thinking of it that way too, because that paints me in a prettier light. I like that. All right.
I remember when I was visiting you in Michigan, you were like, "Here's a pickle. Do you want to try?" And I was like, "Yes." And you know what? That was a good pickle.
I like pickles.
Yes.
What can I say? Besides that.
And for anyone watching, the pickle was his wiener. No.
And it was pretty good.
It was a pretty good pickle.
I like to soak it in vinegar.
You like the soaked in vinegar? Isn't that every pickle?
That's yeah, but you said it was my wiener, so I was okay.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, I got my wires crossed on the joke we were telling.
It's just yes anding there.
Yeah, you were doing a better job yes-anding than I was. I was no-butting.
You forgot about the joke the moment it ended.
Yep, that's pretty much me. I'll do that too. Like I'll yes-and people, and then they'll yes-and me, and I'll be like, "Wait, what? Really?" And
be like, "Where am I?"
Yeah. What? Who's this? Just real quick before we move on to the next drawing, I am looking at the Wikipedia page, and they've already been renewed for a third season.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. It feels like they're kind of planning on, and it seems like they did it a little bit in this season, but it seems like they're planning on kind of, as the show goes on, they're going to evolve the pupa a little bit and have more abilities and grow or something.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing.
I would like to have him be like a Groot type thing, where every time you check back in with him, maybe a season later, he's a slightly different creature.
Yeah. That's the interesting thing about the pupa is like they don't do a lot of delving into like what's going on with the pupa, but something's going on with that thing.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's supposed to eat the
so
world
yeah,
at some point.
Yeah. So I'm interested in seeing how that all plays out.
I liked when he got abducted by the auctioners, and they said he was like there was like the people that were auctioning off things that looked like cartoon characters.
Yeah.
And they had like a Donald Duck, and then like he was supposed to be SpongeBob.
Yeah. I like how it's all Disney properties in there, or except for the SpongeBob thing, but like all the things in the cages were like fucked up versions of Disney.
Oh, were they all
properties.
Disney?
Yeah, there's like a mouse with like
detail.
red shorts on.
Right.
There's a Donald Duck in there. I just remember it being a bunch of Disney type stuff. Cuba.
Yeah, good show.
Good show.
I've been watching
It's
some more.
a good show.
Some more of shit. What's it called?
Samurai Shit Blue.
Nope. I mean yes, but nope.
It's not called Shit Blue. It's very good actually.
What is it? What is it? Who's the writer? Oh, okay, Lovecraft County. That's what it's called.
Oh yeah, Lovecraft County.
I'm watching
okay.
some more of that. It's pretty interesting. I like it. I'm not sure what angle it's going with yet.
Interesting.
But it's interesting. It's like it's a lot of like supernatural stuff going on, and I'm not really sure what kind of story arc it's gonna be.
It's interesting how up and down Twitter can be about like a show, because when the show first came out, people were like, "This show's incredible! I'm so excited!" And then like the second episode came out, and like the same people were like, "This show sucks! Fuck this show!" And then
Really?
the third episode came out, and those same people were like, "This show's great!" Like I'm like, make up your mind, man, or just wait for like the rest of the season.
I guess I don't really know how I feel about it yet, but I guess I'm curious to see what other people think too. I don't know.
Yeah, I should check it out. It's on HBO, right?
Yeah.
I'll have to.
I'll have to actually. I keep saying I'm gonna give you my account, and I haven't done it. I have to. I mean, obviously. Well, I don't know. Never mind. I was gonna make some joke about how like we're not breaking any laws, but nah, you can have my account.
All right, cool. But it's interesting because like since I only have the one screen, I have to figure out how to like do my usual routine of having something on like to watch while working on art.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is like Hulu has like a picture-in-picture mode. So like you click this like weird little blue square, and it pops up for like various websites like that have video and stuff. So it's like an option for a few websites, but like it's not an option on Netflix. So like right now Hulu is just so much easier for me to watch on this one screen that I have while I'm working on art than Netflix. And I'm not sure if HBO has that same sort of.
Do you prefer it being on the same screen, or could you just like set up near like a TV?
I have set up near a TV before, yeah, but like also, I mean I don't have any TVs in my room, and I don't super like working on in the living room. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't get comfortable.
I feel like need to kind of have some privacy, or I get distracted.
Yeah. So once I get my new PC and I get my screens back up and operational, the world's my oyster, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I watch stuff. I usually listen to stuff because I can't watch stuff and work on stuff. I get too distracted. I end up just watching and stop working.
I have that issue sometimes too. So like animated shows, I'll have a harder time with, or like things that are very visually interesting and aren't just like Seinfeld is very easy because for the most part, like aside from the occasional visual gag, it's mostly like, what are you doing? Well, I'm doing this.
Right.
So, like for instance, like Mad Men, I could probably do because it's mostly people having. I assume I actually haven't seen a single episode of Mad Men, so I don't know. But I'm assuming
people drinking and smoking in an office.
Yeah.
And then saying racist and sexist things to each other.
Occasionally a dude's foot gets ground up by a lawnmower or something.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. I watched like a little bit, but I don't think I'm gonna actually like go through and watch the rest.
I hear it's pretty good, so I'm interested
I've heard
in giving
I've
it a
heard people
look.
like it, yeah.
mean, John Hamm made his whole career off that thing, and that dude's. What has John Hamm done lately? Actually, now that I think about it, I don't know.
I don't know. I see him stuff every once in a while. I'm trying to think. Most recently, I'm not sure. I mean, he was in like Baby Driver, but that's like 2 years old now.
Yeah, no, that's still a big movie release that was recent.
He was in the newest season of Curb. He had like a really hilarious role in that.
That's awesome. As himself?
He's himself, and he's researching Larry for a role that's based on Larry. And then it just turns out that he's exactly like Larry, so they're just walking around in every situation where everybody's pissed off, or where Larry's being an asshole, John Hamm's like the exact same asshole, and he's like agreeing with him, and they're just like...
That's so funny.
Like, encouraging each other, and everybody's just like annoyed by both of them. And they have like the same mannerisms. It's awesome.
I love that idea. That's great, especially because it's John Hamm.
Yeah.
Because like, that's, I mean, from what I've seen of him, he's just like the exact opposite of
he seems like a super like
show.
Nice guy, and then he's just like this kind of like
curmudgeon.
Asshole. Yeah. Or he's kind of like similar in the ways that he has all these rules that like nobody else knows him, but he holds them at like a high like you can't break these rules, but they're all just rules that he made up himself, which is like the whole Curb Your Enthusiasm like thing.
Yeah. I remember seeing John Hamm. So like this is like after I think Mad Men had ended, and like sort of around the advent of like Netflix being like, we're doing a bunch of original shit now. I remember watching this one show where it was, I didn't watch all of it, and you'll find out why, but it was John Hamm is playing a doctor in like post, I think no, Daniel Radcliffe. No, okay.
I've seen like the trailer, but I've never watched it.
So like the show is John Hamm is being interviewed, I think, in World War II Europe and he's sort of recounting his tales of himself as a young doctor in like World War I era Europe. Yeah. And somehow, and I don't know how this works, but somehow the young version of himself is able to talk with old version of himself and have conversations to help him like sort of like steal his resolve on certain things, or like help him out of like,
maybe it's like his inner monologue or his like psyche. It's just kind of illustrated as his past self.
See, I don't know, because like the thing is, like, straight up his old self gives him answers that his past self has no way of knowing.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, I get what you mean.
Yeah, so like I don't know, like the time shit is like real, and I never watched the rest of the show to find out, because the show was so incredibly gruesome. Holy shit, man! Like fuck, like ugh. Like I still like in my head see some of the shit. Like I mean, obviously it's all fake, so it's not like I'm like, like oh man, I got like these flashbacks. But like that shit was gross, man. Like in the one episode, like this woman's got like a fucked up leg because she got it caught in like a thresher or some shit like that. So like it was like a 5-minute sequence where like they just showed Daniel Radcliffe like sawing her leg, and then finally like he's like, okay, well we've sawn far enough, so and they just like snap off like the rest of it. There's like a scene, and I'm gonna tell you one more thing, and then I'll stop with these horrific descriptions. But like just like this is like shown in the show, just. But there's like the scene where this guy's like, I got like a toothache. So Daniel Radcliffe goes to like pull his tooth out, and then he just ends up pulling out, like when you see it, like he pulls the tooth out, guy just like starts bleeding out of his mouth really gross.
Oh.
Like just like shooting out, and then like you look, and he's like also got a piece of like the back of his like skull on the tooth as well.
God, can that happen?
I mean I assume if you don't have a loose enough tooth, like
well, that's not your tooth. Your tooth is, yes, they're on your skull, but they're not like. There's a connection. I don't think there's something that will give way if you get. Yeah.
I don't want to think about it.
No, I'm done thinking about it.
It's horrifying.
Erase
and like
that.
And I was just like, okay, so I'm like 2 episodes in. No, I was 3 episodes in, and I was just like, I don't know if I want to watch any more of this. It's kind of too gross for me.
Yeah.
So I didn't. I like, and like it was entertaining and like like it was intriguing, and I wanted to see where it went, but I just couldn't. It was just too fucking
do it.
Flip.
I've been watching a few gross shows. Like that Lovecraft County is pretty like gory.
I imagine, yeah.
And also, I've been watching The Boys, which is super gory, but like it's also funny. So it's kind of like it's also like serious. It plays a lot of different roles, but I kind of like that in the show. I like something that can be a lot of different things.
Yeah, you want something that's not just like hitting one note.
It doesn't need to just stay in its box, you know. So it's funny and it's dark and it's gruesome, but it's a lot of things. I like that show a lot. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Have you watched it at all?
I have not, but I've heard a lot of good. Like I've had so many people tell me to watch it, and like I wanna check it out. I have access to Amazon Prime at least, so I can check it out at some point. I just need to find a good moment where like it's always hard to get into a new show because you have to like be like, okay, time to care about like a whole new set of people.
Right. Well, feel free to take your time because the newest season is released episode by episode, so don't savor it. Don't make sure by the time you get to that point it's already aired.
Yeah, fair. The new season of Archer is actually currently airing. Like Hulu has half of the show. Like the newest, like I think each season is like 10 episodes or 13 episodes or something like that. They're on episode 6 right now, so.
Have you watched it all yet?
I see. The thing is, I actually haven't caught up on Archer. I'm actually in the middle of doing that.
I'm not caught up either.
What was that?
I'm not caught up either.
Yeah, so like, I'm not sure if I have to be caught up though, because I haven't seen the latest season where he wasn't in a coma, because then. For like the past 4 seasons, I want to say he's been in a coma. So all of the seasons have been like these extended dream sequences.
Okay.
So like I'm not too worried about being caught up on those, but I also didn't get caught up yet on the seasons where he's pre-coma. So I feel like I'd be lost.
I feel like I'll watch it all at some point.
That's like the next show I've been working through since I finished Key and Peele. I've been doing Archer while I work on art and stuff like that.
Watching Archer while you're working on art.
Sure. Art, sure. But yeah, so I mean that's happening right now.
Nice.
Hulu's got this weird thing going on where it's like unless they've added like basically party watch mode. Or watch party, I guess is what they call it, but it's available to people who don't have like Hulu without the ads until the end of the month or something like that, because it's like in a celebration of the new season of Pen 15, which I hear is also very good.
Yeah, I've heard that was good too. I just saw like a glowing review recently.
But it's also going to go away for people who don't have Hulu Plus, which is where you don't have the ads, and that I don't have, so that feature is going to be gone.
Well, we should give it a try before it's gone.
I agree. Let's do some Hulu Watch Party. A bit different than Twitch Watch Party, which we both just recently found out was a thing.
Yeah, I still don't totally understand that, because if it works I think it does, I would like to do that a lot, actually. Like.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun way to spend some time.
I like to watch movies, and if I can get some followers in the meantime.
Yeah. I also recently found out that Twitch lets you do dual, like, partner streaming, like where you're streaming and you're also streaming with somebody else, and like somehow the person didn't describe it too much, but basically like we could both be streaming working on art
on the same thing.
Somehow Twitch would accommodate that. I don't know. I need to figure that out.
I know like Picardo or whatever used to have a way that like multiple people could like team up their streams, so there'd be like 3 windows in the same stream or something. Is it something like that? Is that kind of what you mean?
I have to assume. I mean, I literally like the person didn't. They were just like, yeah, you can do like team streaming, and I was like, oh, cool. I'll read this thread, see like what that means. And they were just like, it's super cool. You should try it. And I'm like, but what is it? So I'm not quite sure yet, but it's something I'd be interested in giving a shot. $10.15. I hear Netflix. So yesterday the Emmys happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't care. I didn't watch. I don't know who won, but I did hear that the new like Dark Crystal Netflix series won an Emmy.
Oh, nice.
And then Netflix just today announced that they were canceling it, so I'm not sure what the fuck that's about.
What?
Yeah.
I'd be so mad if I was working on that show. Like,
I know, right?
Like, pick a better day to do it. If like even if you're still gonna cancel it, that's a different thing. I'm not gonna say you can't cancel a show that's got some awards, but don't do it the day after it won an award. That's just like rude.
Yeah. It's also just, I mean, it seems strange. It's just like, okay, well, clearly this is a successful property. Like, I just don't understand.
The issue could be like maybe somebody integral left the show, or it's too expensive, or this or that. But like, don't cancel it the day after it won an Emmy. What the hell are you doing?
I don't know. It's weird because, like, you know, we were talking before about how that article came out where, like, essentially Netflix will cancel shows.
Right.
So like after 2 seasons because it won't, you know, quote unquote, bring in new viewers, and then they don't have to pay the people more money. But also, like, I don't know, the puppets are already made, like, for the most part.
True, that does seem like the most work.
Like, they spent all the money already in the first season. Now they just gotta, like, keep the people back and, like, make the puppets do more shit. I don't know, like, the puppets are made. What's the
puppets
like? That
made.
Seems like a waste of rubber and a waste of money. I don't know. It's dumb. I don't know. Like,
pretty dumb.
People are saying, like, basically at this point, if we want Netflix to not cancel shows that we like, we have to, like, unsubscribe from Netflix. I don't know.
I don't think it'll be enough. Netflix is too big that you can't make a dent. If every single person that watched Dark Crystal unsubscribed simultaneously, I still don't think it'd be a big enough dent. I just, like, everybody has Netflix.
Yeah. So, and like, that's the weird thing is, like, so how do you have any, like, that's the thing that people have been talking about lately is, like, because, like, at least with TV, which is somehow like starting to look like the better model somehow, but like,
I don't know.
At least with TV, you have like some sort of metric.
Yeah, but their
like
metrics
DVD
broken
sales.
too. Well, they use the Nielsen ratings, and that's like the dumbest shit in the world. That's why, like, you'd always be like, why is this show that has such a huge following getting canceled? It's like, because the way they find out their ratings is they mail out letters to old people that fill out surveys and then send them back. That's how they get the idea of who watches what. And it's like, that's not... Anybody who actually watches something doesn't fill out surveys. Like, I mean, unless it's like you're polling for, like, Big Bang Theory or, like, Jeopardy or something, or Wheel of Fortune. Like, those people will definitely fill out surveys.
Yeah.
But all the other shows are not going to... You're not going to get an accurate representation.
So it's weird. It's like, how do we let these companies know, like, hey,
Well, Netflix, they have all the metrics. They have all the information, and they are making choices based on those, but they never reveal it, even to the people who make the shows. It's like they're notorious for, like, the people making the shows being like, we don't know how good it's doing, but it must be doing good because people seem to be talking about it, and they renewed us, but they don't even let the people who make the shows know how well they're doing, which seems messed up. I feel like you should be allowed to know.
Because, like, that's basically your job. Is like, hey, will I have a job next month? I would like to know. Yeah. This seems all twisted and needlessly dumb.
Yep.
Welcome to our society, though, I guess. Huh?
Oh well.
I see the pun you wrote there. Over the alien. Yeah, it's just weird. Like, what sort of...
But at the end of the day, I don't know how Emmys are decided anyways. All award shows are just like...
Old people also...
Rich people patting other rich people on the back. I mean, I guess Emmys less so because you don't have to be rich to create TV, but...
No, but I mean, you do have to be rich to vote in the Emmys.
Right. Rich people... But I was saying my argument is like, with the Academy Awards, it's rich people patting rich people on the back. But the Emmys, you don't have to be rich to win an Emmy. It's rich people patting people who make TV on the back.
Yeah, but I mean, even the people who make TV are, at least, I would say, they're well off.
But there's all sorts of Emmys. Like, the Emmys they show as the award show is just only half of it. They go into, like, all sorts of production. Like, they just don't air all that because it would be like a 12-hour show.
Yeah, I would watch that though, or I'd be interested in seeing.
Like, my cousin has a production company and he has like an Emmy or two, but he's not like it's not like something that would be on. If they like actually went through that on TV, people wouldn't know what they're talking about because it's all like very
it's like
in the business.
Best boy.
Yeah, or like like some like small production company or being like rewarded for some like commercial or some kind of thing they did. Like it's not in the know enough to be something that people would tune into.
Right. Is it weird that there's like a position, like an official like title in production called Best Boy?
It is weird. It's weird that that it's still boy. I feel like that's something that, like, maybe in like the dawn of film it was traditionally a kid doing it, but now it's a grown man doing it, and he's still a boy by title.
Best Boy. Such a weird, just like, and it's like what? It's the guy who holds the boom mic, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think it's they put the gaffing tape down or some shit like that. Like, I'm gonna look it up. I gotta know.
What do they call the Employee of the Month award for the best boy?
Best boy, I have to assume.
The bestest boy.
So they Best Boy Electric. In film crew, there are two kinds: Best Boy Electric, and Best Boy Grip.
I bought my TV at Best Boy.
And I was gonna yes and that, but I couldn't think of that.
I don't know how you would.
In short, the best boy acts as the foreman for their department. A woman who performs his duties.
It's the best girl.
Best girl, yeah.
Really?
Both are sometimes called best person.
It seems like time to change it to best person.
Yeah, I think so.
Or just give it a real title that doesn't sound like complete bullshit.
Yeah. And
try explaining that to like your in-law, or not your in-laws, but like your family that like doesn't understand film, and they're like, "I'm a best boy," and they're like, "You're a what?"
So run that through me for the 100th time.
Just forget it. I work in film.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they probably never say the words "best boy," even though it's their official title.
Yeah, I would just be like, "I'm the foreman." Which is honestly just what they should call it.
Son, I watched the movie you worked on, and I saw your name in the credits. One question though: why did it label you as a boy?
Well, because technically I do have Peter Pan syndrome.
Off to Neverland.
Ooh. I've got. Ooh.
It's doing a little bit of I was thinking it's a Metallica reference. I don't know.
Oh. Wait, what was it? I don't know.
Off to Neverland. It's
Oh, I see. That's Under the Sandman, right?
Yep.
I for some reason just like talking about going to Neverland and then doing ooh wah ah, struck me as very funny.
Just have a Disturbed soundtrack for the new dark, gritty Peter Pan film.
Not even dark and gritty. It's like a normal Peter Pan movie, but for some reason the soundtrack is down with the sickness.
I mean, if he's gonna be a boy forever and it's a modern retelling, maybe he listens to Disturbed.
Honestly, though, that would be a pretty solid adaptation. It's Peter Pan, always a kid, dealing with some angst in the real world. That sounds actually terrible. Never mind. No one ever make that. I'm sorry I brought that into the ether.
Well, if it could be something along the lines of like Shazam, kind of being like, he's a grown man, but he has the brain of a child, or something.
I guess that's fair. I enjoy Shazam.
I guess it's the other way around, though, right?
It's a child. No, yeah, grown man with the mind of a child, because it's a child who gets put into a grown man.
We're talking about Hook, though. It's different than Peter Pan.
We were talking about. Well, I mean, yeah, basically we were describing Hook, but like if he never turns into grown-up Robin Williams, and instead he's just fucking, I don't know, some kid in high school who's there's.
In the actual story, he never comes like back and turns into a man. That's like Hook is like an adaptation that was unique.
Honestly, it's the best adaptation you're ever gonna get out of Peter Pan. I think that's the best you're gonna get.
I like me some Hook.
It's a good movie. I actually only saw Hook for the first time. Gosh, I want to say 5 years ago or something like that.
Well, I guess that's the ultimate test. If you think it's good and you only just saw it for the first time 5 years ago, then it doesn't mean that nostalgia is the filter for why I like it.
Yeah, no, cause like back when I first started working at that restaurant, we had a chef, and before he got fired, he was like, "You've never seen Hook? You gotta see Hook." I was like, "All right, I'll check it out." And like, I watched it on my phone over the course of like a work day. because like we were just fucking dead that day.
Yeah.
And good movie. Can't complain.
You got paid to watch Hook. Something that nobody
I
in the world has
basically
ever been never
That's
been able
actually-
to say.
That's actually not even accurate because I mean, if we were dead, I didn't make any tip money, so I got paid.
Like $3
I
an hour
I
to watch
didn't
Hook.
get paid to watch Hook. I got paid $3 an hour.
Yeah, you got paid like $4.50 total to watch Hook, and then
Yeah.
taxes were taken out of that.
Exactly. I got paid sub minimum wage.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's the life of a restaurateur.
Are you gonna
What's the
flesh out
restaurant?
the background on this?
I don't know. I've been considering it, but how you feeling about that?
Well, let's see. It's 9:30. We have a half hour left. We could either just save this and do like a final segment, or we could finish this up a little bit more and still fit one in if we.
You know what? I like the simplicity of what we got.
Works for me.
Let me just hold on. Can you turn down the opacity on this layer a tad?
Which layer?
BG1. It's like 50%. Perfect. There was a tangent with that alien's mouth. I just was
Oh, I
not a
see.
fan.
It's like a tooth.
And
That's
just the
my
way it
goofy
collides.
impression.
I'm gonna fix it. You know what? There we go. It's
Yeah,
a
perfect.
cutout.
Yeah, looks good.
Just get some visual consistency for the rest. Boom. That's the life of an artist, everybody. You
That's
gotta
how it's
worry
done.
about-
That's how the sausage is made.
That's right. I gotta do
And that's
it.
why we make the big bucks. Eventually,
You
I'm
make-
told. I don't know. But I've heard that there are big bucks to be made somewhere. I haven't
Some
found them
people
yet.
make money.
Yes,
Have to assume.
some people do make money. That's true. All right, let's save this.
Sounds good. Off to never land.
I get my new couch on Wednesday.
Super psyched. You ready to catch some Z's in the living room?
I mean, I just got a mattress too, so I'll do it on that. But I'm excited for my couch not to murder my spine, because it's like a 20-year-old couch that your knees are like level with your head when you sit on it. It's comfy, but you don't realize the damage that is being done.
I'm sure early 2000s couches were made from some terrible material as well.
Probably. Should we go right to the last segment?
Yeah, let's do some. You want to do some RPP?
Let's do it.
I'll start drawing some brackets. I'm gonna be working on.
We should
layer
make
top-
one and save it, so that we don't have to do this every time. Even though it only takes like a few
Right?
seconds, but we should do that.
Yeah, you're not wrong though.
You call these brackets? Wow.
No, like, you see
And the
how
fact that we
it's
get
supposed
to
go
watch your
straight
hand
line?
go across the camera as you attempt it. You know, there's
Oh,
a
no.
straight line tool you can use.
Yeah, I know, but it never it doesn't ever look. It looks too digital. You know.
Okay.
Hold on, I've flipped this so I'm.
I like a
doing
handmade
vert-
line, bro. I like I want to know the artist from looking at the lines.
Oh my god, this is. Ugh, that's
That-
it.
that
Fine,
one will
whatever.
do. We can go with that one.
I don't fucking care anymore.
What's the point?
What's the point? Why are we here? Just to suffer.
Why can't they do the thing where you hold shift and it gives you a straight line?
I know, right? That's at least like a happy medium for that shit.
Now I'm trying to fix it. It's doing just as bad a job. I'm giving up. We're done.
It's so much easier to do a straight line on paper.
It's true.
They do make nibs, they say, where it's like supposed to replicate the feel of drawing on paper, and I'm just like, how? I'm still drawing on a smooth ass screen.
The nib is very thin, so you still get some sensation.
Ooh. Wait. That sound. Never mind. You know,
What? What are you
Huh?
talking about, dude? This is a show for. This is a family show.
Trojan condoms, by the way. Speaking of family
Oh.
shows,
What brought that up?
what a terrible name for a condom.
It is.
Cause
Because they burst out at the end of the story.
They were not contained. It was a huge problem.
If the story ended with them like trying to get out of the horse in the dead of night, and like the lock was stuck and they were just stuck in there forever, then it would make sense.
Yeah.
But that is not how the tale goes.
Maybe the Trojan name is a reference to like the 1% of the time that the condom doesn't protect, because like there is that small percentage where
Yes.
the
But you wouldn't name your brand after the times it fails, would you?
I know, that's the weird thing. But like I guess like 1% of wooden horses actually had people inside of them back in the day. I don't know.
Don't know. But yeah, I agree. It's a unfortunate name.
It's a very unfortunate. Some weird branding. Speaking of like weird branding with that stuff, just like there's like this really funny, honestly, commercial for Trojan condoms that's like sort of about quarantine. Because it starts out like a TikTok video sort of thing where it's like these people like doing all these weird like TikTok dances or something like that as like the camera pans around the room. So you think it's just a commercial for TikTok, and then like all of a sudden, like right at like no just like specific point in the commercial with no like sense of timing, which almost makes it funnier. All of a sudden the words like flash on the screen that are just like have sex or like Trojan condoms or something. Like basically saying you're stuck inside with your girlfriend, so just have some sex.
That's funny.
I was like, you know what? That's a good one right there.
It's
That's
a good angle. All right, so people in the chat, do we have any suggestions for the rock paper pencil?
My terrible branding is what comes to my head. I know we're leaving it up to the chat.
I'll be right back. Let them stew over that for a second.
I'll let you know if we get any updates. Welcome to DrawBomb. Mine is Brandon. Here you are hanging out with me. Yeah, here we are. Just straight up waiting, for him to come back. And then we'll start this riveting round of rock, paper, pencil. If you don't know what rock, paper, pencil is for the people watching, rock, paper, pencil is where we pick a theme and then we draw it. And each of our interpretations of it is usually very entertaining. And then people vote on which interpretation of the theme they like more on Twitter, if it gets posted up in time. Sometimes it's not, but that is rock, paper, pencil. So once Brandon comes back, I won't feel so compelled to monologue anymore. So yeah. So the monologue is coming to an end because it looks like he's coming back. You can hear the door.
I've returned.
He's returned, so now I can stop my very casual and slow-paced monologue.
Boy, sorry I missed that.
Oh, that's okay. You literally didn't miss anything. We got one suggestion in the chat, which is food textures. Which I think is an interesting one.
It'd be a hard one to draw.
I agree with that.
It's a feeling.
It's
a feeling.
It's a feeling. The way I imagine it is like, you know how people do like they'll draw the blocks from Minecraft as like a test, like for how they do different materials, like how they render materials and stuff like that. It's sort of a test some people do. I imagine it'd be like that, but I don't know how we would otherwise translate that over into a food drawing of some kind, unless we were like, no, I just have no idea. Like, I mean, you could write words over it, but it would mostly be just somebody putting a thing in their mouth going like, and then the word, like the texture in mind. So I don't know if we could do that one. we could come up with fake brands where the what the brand does is the like polar opposite of what the product actually does, like a Trojan condom.
Oh, okay. So like misleading brand names.
Yeah, something like that, I think.
Okay. I'm not sure my brain will be good like enough to come up with a joke fast, but it might. I'm trying to think.
Take some time.
I mean, I can come up with something if you want to do that one. I don't know what yet, but I'll.
Yeah, I mean, we could
All right.
sit here and hash it out. All right, so I'm gonna go quiet for a second while I consider.
Okay. I might just keep it simple and just do something that's just straight up like an opposite of what the intended purpose is.
Yeah, what that could be anything though. So like what you choose will end up being, I'm sure,
Right.
very humorous and very branding.
I'm a misleading brand. And are you singing the Jeopardy song?
For things that I could turn into a bad branding. I am looking around my room. I know, see a whole lot to work with.
I have your layers hidden, by the way.
What was that?
I have your layers hidden, by the way.
Ooh, I should do that to you.
Yes, you should.
Get the
yes, you
fuck
should.
out of my sight, layers. Alright. This is toughy. I mean, this is almost always what happens at the beginning of a rock, paper, pencil.
It's true.
Yeah, we gotta sit and digest. I hope I gave you equal space as me. I feel like...
I have enough. Doesn't matter. I think it's the
All
same.
right.
It looks about the same.
Looks like a pair of butt cheeks hanging out of a pair of jeans.
That guy needed a manicure for a second. That first nail was...
Yeah.
You got that finger caught in the door.
Real gnarly looking. I'm not gonna do that.
Trojan condoms, like you said, it's kind of ironic, but at the same time, it's still kind of a clever angle.
Yeah. I mean, it could be. Was it I mean,
The message is received, even though it did not go the way that... If you go the whole story, it's not maybe the best mascot, but at the same time, it's like, it's still the message. You understand immediately what the connection is, and it's kind of clever.
Well, I'm also wondering, did Trojans have, like, phalanxes? Because a phalanx is also, like, a very well-known, like, defensive maneuver. Ancient Greek. I think it was the Romans. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Romans who had phalanxes. Yeah, the word Trojan doesn't even come up in the Wikipedia article. So I mean, I was just trying to see there. Why are they called Trojan condoms? I just have to know. It's so weird.
I mean, it's obvious, right? It's because of the Trojan horse. I mean, ultimately, it's a bad because of what happens in the story, but that's the idea, is that it's like...
They're called Trojan condoms because they help you come inside.
Oh, that's great. I hope... I feel like that's something somebody really clever came up with, but I hope that was in the pitch meeting. that was what they
So,
led
man.
with, because that's beautiful.
I mean, that's from a Reddit post, but I mean, I don't think there's a better answer than
There's
that,
not.
to be
It's
honest.
just we're done.
Wow.
Whoa. Zach said his connection interrupted and reloaded, and then the commercial he got was a Trojan condom commercial.
Fucking A, man.
They're listening in.
The algorithm is listening. Was it the one I was talking about? Was it the exact condom I was commercial I was referring to?
Had you seen it on Twitch?
I mean, no,
Okay,
but
I was
I'm
just
not
curious.
on Twitch a whole lot. I just see it on
Neither am
Hulu
I,
a
but-
lot.
I haven't seen it, so I was curious.
This episode not brought to you by Hulu. No, I know it was just a commercial. I'm saying, was it the commercial that I was talking about earlier?
Yeah, I don't know if you heard that, but Ian was describing a specific Trojan condom commercial.
I gotta think more brand. I was too busy
I'm just going
like,
I'm going real stupid with mine.
I mean, I had one idea, but I was like, that's not actually all that funny. So I'm not.
Oh well,
gonna
mine
not-
probably won't be all that funny.
Okay.
But that's that's personal issues.
Yeah. That's just self-doubt.
Because I'm not
creeping in.
funny.
Okay, you know what? I have my idea. Maybe I don't know if that idea translates so well.
Zach says, no, it was literally a boilerplate condom commercial with minimal talking, just a slideshow of different styles they make. Wow, that sounds sexy. That's, if that doesn't make
Get me
you
all
roaring to go, I don't know what will.
hot and bothered for them different condom shapes and colors. It also just strikes me as anti-effective, ineffective, or like flavored condoms.
Yeah, that's weird.
What if you're wearing a flavored condom and then you still get the girl pregnant? Does the kid grow up with diabetes? That's a terrible joke. You know what? No. That's not funny.
Boo.
Boo on you. You stink.
The kid just smells like strawberries.
The whole way. The skin is extra pliable. It's like latex.
Well, now we're getting away from the initial joke where he turns into a condom. Like that has nothing to do with the flavored.
Some of the DNA from the condom got onto the person.
The worst superhero ever. Condom man.
Condom man. I help you come inside. Okay. Gotta think of my thing. One of my favorite jokes in Grand Theft Auto is they have a German beer called Pisswasser.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I enjoyed that.
Once, speaking of Rockstar stuff, once, you get a, I mean, I'll find out on my PlayStation, but once you get a computer again, if Red Dead Online is any fun yet, that'd be a fun thing to
Play
do.
it.
If it's fun, I
mean,
don't know. It might still suck.
Yeah. Alright, I'm just gonna go with my second idea. You know what's weird is I'll have to tell you later, but I was like, I know there's
You
a
don't want
town
the
named
fans to
this.
hear it.
What was that?
You don't want the fans to know.
Yeah, but I knew like there was a town named that would make this joke work. And I, in my head, was like, I feel like I know the state that it's in too, but I was gonna look it up just to make sure. I was right. In my head, it was the, yeah.
Okay, well that means nothing to me because I don't know what you're drawing. But I will, you know, agree with you or be interested in that story when we finish.
Yes. Don't you love hearing somebody say, I can't tell you yet, but I got this thing.
I love when
You'll
somebody's like,
think it's
oh
hilarious.
boy, this something happened. No, I can't tell you about it, but well, man, it was crazy. It's like, so
So
what
there's
you want
nothing-
me? You want me to
there's no
beg
point.
you, or you want me to think you're interested? You, no, you. What's the goal here? What are we trying to accomplish with this?
What's going on? This was a pointless conversation, so thank you so much for wasting about a minute of my life that I will never get back.
Granted, I've seen what I do with minutes of my life.
Yeah, fair.
Throw them straight in the trash.
It's like vague booking, which was definitely a hot topic back in the heyday.
What is it?
Vague booking?
Oh,
like,
yeah. It took me a second to think about it, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean by that. I still see a lot of that.
Yeah, me too.
It's like, stop trying to get people to give you attention by tricking them.
Yeah. It's like people who are just like, gosh, this thing sure is troubling me, and it's like, okay, it's so troubling, and it's like, okay, look, I'll be happy to discuss with you, but you have to use your words.
Right. Don't
And
make me
actually,
go through the song and dance.
I will straight up not play the game. If
I
somebody's
don't
like,
either, yeah.
I just
That's
don't
what you
have
gotta
time.
do. You don't engage.
Yeah. Oh gosh, this thing is bothering me. Okay. Well, anytime you want to just straight up tell me you would like to talk about it, I'll be happy to discuss, but I'm not going to be like, oh gosh, what are you talking? Maybe I'm a terrible friend. I don't know.
No, you're not. I mean, I've also on Facebook. It's not always friends. I mean, I know technically you're friends, but like, I used to have
Well, this is in real life, too.
acquaintance on. Oh yeah, I don't do it in real life either. You're right. But it's because that doesn't make you a bad friend. They're trying to like manipulate you. If they actually wanted your
That's what it feels
advice,
like,
they would bring it up to you. But instead, they just want you to be interested in them.
Yeah,
And
I
there was somebody notorious for it on social media back in the day who, like, once a week would make a vague post that was just like, could it get any worse? And then somebody would be like, what's the matter? And they go, I don't want to talk about it.
So dumb.
And then it's like,
Just the most.
but why'd you
frustrating.
post it on here?
Yeah. Like,
But you do want to talk about it.
what's the magic number of people asking you what it's about before you'll actually tell us? Because this is a dumb game to play.
Yeah. It's like, maybe the idea of that is you just want the one person who you're friends with who it's directed at to see it. So it's your way of like being super passive aggressive.
What's wrong, Samantha? Well,
It's
so
like
glad you asked.
Get in a fight with your husband, and then you make a post that's like, I can't take this anymore. And then people are like, what? And they're like, nothing. And then they're just
My
waiting
husband to
for
see.
that one person to see. That might be it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, like, people who are just like, oh, this is so terrible. I'll be like, I'm sorry to hear that. It's just the worst. Yeah,
Sounds bad.
sounds bad. And,
I
like,
don't-
there's just,
I don't bite either, yeah. I never do.
I don't know, I feel like, and like, the thing is, like, in my head, I'm actively telling myself they want you to ask them what's wrong.
Oh, definitely.
But I just like, I'm also just like, okay, but they could also use their fucking words and just say, hey, I want to talk to you about something. And then I'll totally respect it and be like, sure, yeah, absolutely. But I don't know why. It just annoys me so much when somebody's just like, ugh, I'm
I do the
having
same.
a terrible time. And I'm like, Yeah, that's a shame.
Well,
Anytime.
you don't have to feel bad because I'm sure if they actually did talk to you like a normal human, you would be happy to listen to them.
I would be. That's the thing. But like, if they're
you have
gonna
to learn
like,
that.
I don't want it to be a setup where I have to be like, gosh, what's wrong? Like, I don't know.
It always annoys me when somebody comes up and starts a conversation already having planned out the next, like, 5 steps of the conversation.
Exactly. It's like, hey, guess what? I'm a human being.
Yeah,
like, have a fucking conversation.
Actually talk to me. Don't plan this thing out like a puppeteer hoping it's going to go down
Exactly. You know what? We're on the same page with this. I think
Yeah.
that's what annoys me the most is like I'm no longer like a human with agency in that conversation. I am just their wish fulfillment sort of like talk box thing.
Like he's gonna say this when I say this, and then I'll say this, and then I'll be satisfied.
Yeah. And like there are some people also where I've had conversations with them about like a thing that's bothering them, and then they'll get mad that I didn't respond the way they wanted, and like that's also very frustrating.
Yeah.
Because I understand like if I'm being an asshole, like yeah, like fair, like responding to something like dismissingly or just like in a rude way is fine, but also like there is no script on life. So when somebody like when you have a difficult conversation with somebody, they very well might not
say what you're hoping to hear.
Yeah, exactly. So like, but also like, you know what you do when you start yelling at them for not reacting the way that you want them to is you make them just want to not engage anymore because they're just like, okay, well clearly I suck at this, so I'm not good enough to be a. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. It's like it makes you not want to talk to that person because you know, oh, there's booby traps.
Yeah, I feel like I'm under the gun.
Yeah.
Frustrating shit. Yeah, I just like just that whole thing where it's just like, gosh, I can't wait till they ask me what's wrong. And it's just like, no, honestly, like, treat me like I'm a human with agency and you know who has a mind.
Right.
And if you tell me like I have this thing that's bothering me, I just want to talk about it. Like fair, yeah, let's have a conversation.
Exactly.
Like that. But if you, I don't know, it feels like if you're setting me up.
Feels like, insulting to your intelligence that they think they can manipulate you like that.
It's and like there's like so like we're watching Schitt's Creek with family, and there's like characters that do that all the time.
Yeah.
Or like for instance, one of the most recent episodes, like a woman, like the episode starts like a woman walks into one character's like place, and she's just like, oh gosh, I just it's so rough, having such a hard time with this thing, and then the character is just like, hey, like what? And I like, it's as frustrating in real life as it is in that show, except in that show the character, in order to move the plot forward, does need to be like, gosh, what's wrong? And I just won't, because I'm just like, okay, but like seriously, like feel free at any point to just have a human conversation with me is all that it's about.
Yeah, I totally get it. I'm on the same page. Speaking of, not to change the subject, but speaking of Schitt's Creek, I know you said you didn't watch the Emmys last night, but they literally every family member took the award home for their respective like role in the show, like last night. So they kind of killed it.
Nice.
I'm not sure that's ever happened with a show before, where like they swept basically.
I mean, I enjoyed the show.
Yeah, I haven't watched it all, but I like what I've seen.
It's good. It's not my favorite show, but it's good. I mean, it's good. Like it's one of those shows where it's got really funny moments, but overall I'm not super watching it for the comedy because it doesn't end up being like, it has like really funny moments, but like for the most part it just isn't that consistently funny. But I do appreciate the characters enough that I'll like, I almost enjoy the drama aspect of the show more, just like seeing what happens with the characters' lives. It's like how when I watched the final season of Arrested Development, that was like the second half of season 5, I think, that they put up on Netflix. Like at that point, the show, like that season, wasn't like making me laugh like, you know, original Arrested Development was, but like I just wanted to see what happened with the characters. I cared about.
Interested in the characters at that point.
Yeah, And that's kind of how I feel about Schitt's Creek. I'm like, the show is to make like there's definitely really funny moments in the show, but for the most part, I'm invested in the lives of these fake people now.
I think it's pretty funny, but I also haven't watched all of it. I don't know. I've seen a good amount, but I've also kind of fell out of it. I think I'll go back at some point, but that says something about it too. I just kind of like got a little bit bored, but I do also like it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a well written show. I think. I mean, the characters, I think, are well done. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, and like it's not even that it's like not funny because it's trying to be funny, but I feel like the focus of the show isn't always 100% on being funny, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But and like certain like again like the moments that are funny there are some very funny moments. But yeah, I get the sense that they're kind of going like they're straddling this weird line where it's not like a very dramatic drama, but like there is like this ongoing storyline.
Yeah.
What was that?
Definitely. No, I was just agreeing with you.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's not like going 100% comedy. It's not going 100% for drama. It's kind of like this weird in between that works, but only works because the characters work. If it weren't for the fact that like the characters were well done, I don't think the show would have a whole lot going for it.
Right.
It's almost like it's almost like a soap opera.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good for them for winning all those awards.
Yeah.
Must be nice to have Eugene Levy be your dad, so you get like to write a whole show.
Right. I mean, he seems to do a good job.
Oh, he does. I mean,
give
don't
all
get
the
me
credit
wrong.
to that, but it does open doors, sure.
Yeah. I would just be remiss if I didn't bring up the slightly nepotistic.
I mean, they wrote it together.
They did write it together, yeah. But I mean, it like the guy who like
gives it more legs to be something that Eugene Levy co-wrote.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the son's character the most, anyways. I think.
I do actually enjoy his character. I think, like his
Moira's
character.
pretty good, too.
Moira's good. Yeah. The sister over the like course of the most recent seasons has improved a lot. Like before, she was kind of like a ditzy blonde who was kind of dumb and useless. And that was like the point of her character. But now her character is sort of coming into her own, and I am enjoying her character a lot more now because she's starting to show a lot more agency and things like that, which is cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Moira's like outfits in that show are just like fucking trash every episode.
I know.
Holy shit.
And I love the random accents she does. Like, I feel like a lot of that's on the actress. I feel like it would be a hard thing to even like write to that level.
Yeah, that actress like really just brings a lot to that role. She's so fantastic.
Yeah.
I like the way she says baby. She always says baby, baby. No matter the context, like it'll be in the middle of a sentence. She'll be like, "Oh, but I have to have a sitter for the baby to be taken care of," or something like that, which is enjoyable.
Yeah, her accents are hilarious.
Yeah,
like that's what I laugh at the most.
The one episode, they're like they're talking to somebody, and the person's just like, "This woman with like an accent, I don't know where it's from," like started talking to me. It's funny because even. Yeah, I enjoy when the show calls out like these things that are clearly obvious, but you're just like, can somebody just acknowledge her weird continental almost?
She's trying to sound like more like something that she isn't, kind of. I think is what it comes off as. She's trying to be like pretentious refined. Or something. Yeah. In such a way that it's like a fictional accent that she thinks makes her probably sound more
classy and well-to-do. It's interesting too because her character is the one that's having the hardest time adjusting to like the whole situation.
Being normal.
Yeah. It's a cute show. And every time like the characters like, you know, have like romantic hookups or you know they get in a relationship or something like that, I'm always just like, good for them.
Rooting for him.
Yeah, you are, and that's the nice thing about the show is like the characters do end up becoming very sympathetic
You want them
and
to
like
succeed.
nice. Yeah, so you actually do want them. Like, you know, a lot of shows you're just kind of like, you know, they're succeeding, but I don't feel like they should. And that show is quite the opposite. They all grow up and become better people over the course of the show, and they are also very supportive and loving of each other, which is also very refreshing to see in a show. Because a lot of shows are just like this character, like
Everyone hates.
like for
Everyone
instance,
just like rips on each other nonstop.
yeah, exactly, like that. And like I get it because it's easier to write comedy when people are being mean to each other, because then they get to have like all these snappy
Yeah.
like one-liners and like call you out and etc etc. But like for instance, like we were watching Corner Gas, and like we just finished that show like a week or two back, and like the show starts out like sure they all like crack jokes or whatever, but you know for the most part small town living etc etc. But then like by the end of the show they're just all so mean to each other, and we're just kind of like, okay, but like I don't even like anybody on this show anymore.
Yeah.
Like they're all just like such dicks to each other.
Yeah, that's a real thing. It's always like refreshing to see like people write relationships where people actually they can pick on each other, but ultimately they still like and care about each other.
Yeah.
So it's such like a tropey thing to do where everybody's just like rips each other new assholes and everybody has snappy one-liners.
Yeah, like
It's
Veep
I can't relate
is very
to
much
this,
that
but
kind of show.
it
but
is,
like
but
that's also the point of Veep is that no one.
yeah, I think that one
each
works. I was actually thinking about that when I was talking about it because I think that's a version of it where it works because it's like this job where everybody's so like pristine and like the inner workings are just like it's like the most sailor talk you'd ever get, like
Yeah.
like the least respectful people ever, and then when they're like they have to worry about their image so much that all you see of them is them like being like these perfect like fake humans like in real
Yeah,
life.
exactly.
So like to see the inner workings of something like that is really funny.
Yeah. I do. I need to catch up on Veep.
I love
but I guess that
Veep
show's
so
over.
much. Yeah, we binged through that whole thing. It was great. But like
They had the
the one-liners are so good in that too. Like I know we were just talking about that, but like I'm not watching that to relate anyways because you know it's a show about politicians. Yeah. But I did love the one-liners in that show just because they're so like you could tell like that was 90% of the writers' room. Each episode is just like coming up with these things to say to each other that are just like the worst things you've ever heard.
Just like the most rude, terrible things you can possibly say to somebody. I like when the one character comes in and like nobody likes Jonah anyways.
Yeah.
But he comes in and he's like, hey, your favorite Jonah has arrived, and then the one character just says, Jonah, your fucking mom doesn't even think you're her favorite Jonah.
Yeah.
Or Jonah, you're not even your mom's favorite Jonah, or something like that.
Yeah, it's a good show. I like it.
It's a good show. I've seen the first 2 seasons, but they stopped putting them on Amazon Prime then.
I gotcha. I'm almost done.
I'm coloring mine right now. I spent a long time doing some stupid details that don't even look that good, so.
My joke's pretty dumb, but
my joke is very dumb.
I will defend it to the grave.
I won't. My joke is dumb, and if somebody were to be like, hey, can you disavow that joke? I'll be like, done. Disavowed. Fucking stupid. Yeah, it's refreshing every once in a while to see a show that's got some heart to it.
I liked that about Gravity Falls too, that the two, like the siblings actually like and care about each other. That's rare, especially like in kids shows.
Yeah, and I enjoy when they go into like in season 1, because that's the only frame of reference I have for that show at the moment. But I enjoyed in season 1 when Dipper thinks that Grunkle Stan doesn't like him, and then he ends up like finding out that Grunkle Stan like is just trying to teach him how to be a better person and things like that. And I felt like that was pretty obvious from the get-go, because I was like, well, they're not gonna they're not gonna end the episode with Grunkle Stan just like fucking hating this child. But it was nice to you know, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm just gotta finish coloring some of this shit, and then
You're
I'll
good.
be
You're good.
all set. I wonder if anyone else were to pop in right now, if they were to get like. I wonder if people are just gonna start getting Trojan condom commercials now.
I don't know.
Episode.
Maybe. Next
Trojan
episode,
condoms and Hulu.
Next episode, let's just say Burger King like 50 times and see if Burger King commercial pops up.
That'd be an interesting experiment. Someday somebody's gotta sponsor us.
They have to.
We probably have to start getting like actual viewers though before that happens.
Yeah, that'll probably help our odds, I think.
Yeah. Not that Zach's not an actual viewer, but you know, he's one guy.
Well, I didn't mean like that the people watching aren't actual viewers, but we need more.
Yeah, that was the line I was going for. Well, maybe we should start having some guest streamers on.
Yeah, do that.
Every
We should
once in a
also
while.
have some more have some people on the show as well. I think we were doing that for a lot for a minute, and then we kind of stopped, but we should do more of that.
Because of effort.
Zach is spamming us now.
Oh boy.
In search of followers, primes, and views, come on bigfollows.com.
Don't make us ban you, Zach.
He's just trying to help us get followers, primes, and views.
Oh,
What's wrong with that?
Right.
He's trying to help us out.
I'm supposed to be done with this fucking thing.
Mine's done, so now I'm just gonna watch you. Well, I'm not actually seeing what you're drawing, but
Just watching my little cursor go back and forth.
mm-hmm.
See it make a circle just now?
Yeah.
I was making an arc over here. And that's another arc right there. And we're just gonna paint some happy trees over here.
Oh, there's trees? Okay. That's telling a lot about whatever you're drawing.
Actually, no trees. In
Okay,
this
everybody,
one.
we
Does that
can
tell a lot too?
crack this puzzle. There are either are or aren't trees in it. So if that narrows it down.
Oh man. I feel like I've been found out.
Well, since we're coming near the end, thanks everybody who's been watching tonight.
Thank you so much for joining
Thanks,
in.
Zach, for tuning in. Thanks for all those bots for leaving us links to spam websites.
It's the most channel activity we've gotten during an episode in quite some time. We banned them.
Yeah. That'll teach you.
Yeah, you motherfuckers.
News will get back to their where they come from, and they'll know not to mess with us now.
That's right. Or they'll know that we're real and pay attention to our chat, and they'll spam even more.
I'll take either option.
Yeah. I actually got like a spam text message recently saying
I get those.
You get those? I
Occasionally.
don't get them very often, to be honest. This one was saying like I can make a very certain porn star like just wild for me by lasting longer by doing something or other. I didn't click the link, but I'm gonna find out how I can make Lisa Ann enjoy sex with me better, and then I'll figure out.
Well, better than what? What's the baseline of?
I don't know, man. They
Do you have
kind
a
of implied that I
relationship with
don't
her?
last very long.
Oh, that was rude of them.
That was
Maybe
rude.
maybe
You're
that's
right,
their
but,
technique
I
is
mean-
they insult your fragile masculinity so that you'll buy their product.
Hey guys, look. I don't know who told you that shit, but like people don't have to eat. Oh, okay.
Tell me who passed along that very real information to you, because
Look, just
heads are gonna roll.
I know that you just have to look at it and then off I go like a geyser, but shut the fuck up.
They
How
don't call
about?
Old Faithful for nothing.
Yeah. All right. I gotta color one last thing, and then I'm gonna call it quits on this drawing. And I regret my choice of layers for this one, but that's okay. I'm
All
good.
right, ready for the reveal?
I'm ready for the reveal.
Okay. Oh hey, I've been there. That's a place.
That is a place, and like I was saying before, I was like, I feel like I know what
There's got to be one there.
I had to Google it.
It's Midwest. There's got to be a church in hell.
There's gotta be a church in hell, and this is an advertisement.
I
Feel free
doubt
to use that, Hell Church.
Hell
Hell Church of the Latter-day Saints.
They probably try to get away from the fact that they're in a town called Hell.
I would have to assume. I feel like a lot of people are just trying to get out of hell anyways.
Well, you know. And then I did Circlos.
And then it's fucking squares. That's funny. I considered doing a food one and like calling it like shit food, and then just having nobody wanting to eat it. But
that would be a good angle to have it be like really good, because your expectations would be low, and it would always exceed them.
This shit is actually good.
Let's use this. Let's get out of the Twitch game and get into the food packaging game.
That's right, Kellogg's. You listening in on this? Are you?
That's Battle Creek, Michigan.
What?
That's where Kellogg is.
Oh shit! Everything's from Michigan.
We got it all. We got cereal. We got Hell. That's it. We got some lakes.
You got.
Boy, they're big ones. Mm-hmm. We got all the DeVosses.
You got Kruger's.
Kruger's.
Isn't that the name of that grocery chain?
Oh, Kroger?
That's what, yeah. See, we don't
Freddy Kroger.
Freddy Kroger.
After dying in a fire, he now delivers deals.
You want that in paper or plastic?
Sorry, I ripped your bag again with my claw hand.
Oh boy, let me try again here. Hold on. You know, I think this worked a lot better when I was behind the deli counter.
Well, on that note, thanks everyone for watching. Yeah, it's another fun one.
Episode. Do you have anything to plug?
No, I don't.
I would like to plug DrawBomb, 8 p.m. every Monday.
There we go.
Check it out. Eventually, I'll have articles up on a website.
Yeah, and you'll be able to plug those soon enough, I would imagine.
Yep.
Cool.
Tell your friends.
I can't wait to get my read on.
I have written a large amount.
Right.
And I will probably shave it down because I don't think they want such large walls of text.
Well,
not sure.
You know, only time will tell. Anyways, time to play us out.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Let's just talk over the credits song like those news programs where they just like chat back and forth with each other.
But you can't hear them. They're like shuffling papers.
Yeah, we can't shuffle papers, and you can hear us though. So I mean, I feel like this is actually not at all like that segment, but we're still. I mean, it's happening right now.
All right, thanks for watching. Bye.